This week on the Digital Coffee, you're soon going to be able to view Instagram stories on Facebook. Never, never forget a Facebook Messenger message again. And LinkedIn are adding links to stories. All that and more after this. Good morning, and welcome to the Digital Coffee. This is your weekly dose of digital marketing and social media news for small business. We've been cross-posting video stories from Instagram to Facebook for a long time, right? You just click that button and it will post it into your Facebook business page or your Facebook profile, depending how you use Instagram. And this is really handy because it means that you can actually reach more people with the same content. It was great for Facebook, who wanted to encourage more people to watch stories. So this worked for them for that reason, because more of us were creating stories just by cross-posting. But this week, Instagram and Facebook are trying something new. They're testing your followers being able to see your Instagram story on Facebook, and not by cross-posting it, your actual Instagram story on Facebook. And this is good for us for a few reasons. Firstly, it means we're going to reach more of our audience because we've got two opportunities to reach them now. It's only people who actually follow you that will see them on Facebook, but if they don't log into Instagram, we'll be able to grab them on Facebook. So that means we've got more opportunity to reach those people. All the stats will be combined, so you'll be able to see on Instagram who watched your story and how many people watched your story. So that will be good, because I know, particularly if you're a business page, you can't actually see who watched your Facebook story. So that will be helpful. And yeah, good in general, I think. Now, it is completely just your Instagram story, so it's not going to show to anyone that doesn't follow you on Instagram. Your privacy settings will stay the same, so if you've shared with a small group of people, only that small group of people will see it on Instagram. All the comments and likes will appear in your Instagram story. It's completely separate. It's just a way of viewing it. Even your username, actually, your username will be your Instagram username. So if that's different to your Facebook name won't gazump it. People will be able to see it's Instagram because it had that little pinky red circle around it rather than the bluey circle that you have on Facebook. So I think it's good for that reason. I think it's bad, though, because I wonder, why would Facebook do this? Why would Facebook make this massive change? And there's a couple of things I can think of. Firstly, we know Instagram is huge, but Facebook is huger. So have they seen a drop-off of people who have Facebook accounts and have Instagram accounts using Instagram? Are those people not going and visiting Instagram as much? And if so, this is a great way to get them over there, to get more people returning to Instagram and growing that network. The second thing is a little bit scarier. Are we just going to see a full integration of Facebook and Instagram in the future? Is Instagram just going to be a spur of Facebook rather than being a completely separate social network? And I know Instagram users won't like that. In my heart, I don't like it either. Tell me, are you like me? Do you get messages on Facebook and it might be late at night, or you might be doing something else at the moment? You give it a cursory glance. And I tell you what, when I do that, when I open the message, I'm always like, oh, shouldn't have done that, because now I will forget about it. And inevitably, I do forget about it. And when I go through my messages later, I see maybe way down, oh, I never replied to that person. And it's like, it's awful. It's awful. But I also hate, because if it's the weekend when I don't really do much, I can see that little number, that little red flag on my messenger telling me there's messages. So I don't read it. I like to get rid of that. Facebook are fixing it. Thank you, Facebook. Facebook are adding, or they're testing adding, a reply reminder. So this will be in the settings for your chat. And you will get a reminder from Facebook that message is there. I think this is a lifesaver. I am delighted. I can't believe it has taken Facebook so long to get round to this. Still talking about Facebook, but wouldn't it be great if your videos appeared in front of all the right people on Facebook. So when you upload a video to Facebook, not only does it reach the people that follow your page, but it actually appears in front of people who might be interested in what you do on Facebook Watch. And just in case you don't know what Facebook Watch is, it's a tab right at the bottom of your Facebook if you're on mobile, which is just videos. I sometimes click it by accident. And I think the problem with Watch is when I click it, I go in there and there's a lot of comedy and meme videos, which is fine. Some of them are funny, some of them relate to me. But that's all I seem to see. I don't see anything else. The algorithm is supposed to sort this out. It's supposed to show me videos that are interesting to me. And I just get stuck with these comedy videos. And I think part of the reason for that is because I can't scout around and find the videos I actually want to watch. Well, this week, Facebook are adding topics to Facebook Watch, which means when you go in, you'll actually be able to select the type of show you want to watch. You can see right at the top, we've got live. You'll be able to see me. Then you've got music, because we know from YouTube that a lot of people like to watch music videos. So that's going to happen. We've got shows, and that's going to relate to if you're using the series tab. So if you're running a show on a weekly basis, that's going to appear there. And then beyond that, I can see food. They're not enlightening us what goes after that. But I think this is fabulous. I love when Facebook gives us this opportunity to tweak our own algorithm, to choose exactly what it is that we want to watch, much like it would be switching onto a TV channel. A lot of us might watch the food TV channel, the horror or sci-fi. I think these categories could end up showing me videos that I'll actually sit and watch for longer. I just hope they add a digital marketing news tab. If you want to get extra reach on Instagram right now, use Reels. Reels, just to remind you, is Instagram's take on TikTok. You can make kind of short, quirky, vertical videos with kind of some effects that you can add into it with music in the background. Very, very similar to TikTok. And actually, the way that this is launched reminds me a lot of when they launched IGTV, which is their long form video platform. When they first launched it, there was a sudden flurry of interest. Of course, we were all trying it out to see how it worked. And then it kind of like slowed down and people stopped using it. The same thing seems to have happened with Reels. There was a sudden flourish. I saw a whole load of TikTok people I knew suddenly jumping on it to use it. And then, it slowed down. I'm not watching Reels really on Instagram again. So Instagram want to nudge you. They want to say, watch Reels. So they are testing showing suggested Reels in your Instagram feed. So much like when you scroll down and you see suggested stories, you're going to see suggested Reels. And they hope this will encourage you to start binging Reels. I mean, it could work. It could work. So if you are an Instagram user and you want to grow your following, if you want to grow your reach, Reels is something you should really focus on because Instagram are really pushing it. The downside for me is I don't like seeing clutter in my Instagram feed. I liked it when I could just scroll through and see photos and videos. And there seems to be a lot more going in there. And it's very Facebooky. It's very like your Facebook feed has got so complex now, you just can't decode it at all. I would like to go back to the simplicity of Instagram in the old days before stories. Much like, TikTok, it's simple. It's just a feed of videos. I would like to see a social network going back to that. I think one of the frustrating things about Instagram stories is that you can't link out. In fact, all of Instagram, you can't link out unless you've got 10,000 followers. And that just seems like some weird arbitrary number that they've come up with. What is it that the moment that you go from 9,999 followers to 10,000 followers, suddenly you are credible? You are credible. You're not going to spam people with links just because you bought 10,000 followers. I just don't see the rhyme and reason behind it at all. And it's frustrating for people. I mean, there are kind of like interesting hacks that you can ask people to message you or send you a thumbs up and you'll send them the link. But really, we shouldn't have to do that. They should give it to us all. just like LinkedIn is going to. LinkedIn stories, we haven't talked about this for a long while. They are slowly rolling them out to new regions, but no sign of them coming to the UK and Ireland yet. But within LinkedIn stories, they have just added the option to add a link to a story. It looks like it's going to be a swipe up, just like you get on Instagram. And I like this. This could encourage me to use stories more, because it's not just a case of creating some interesting content. It actually gives me an end objective: get people to read my blog posts, get people to visit my website or visit my sales page or find out more. The downside, of course, is that when people start using this, they are, because if you ever look at the LinkedIn feed, it's just full of people selling stuff, right? So will LinkedIn stories just end up people selling stuff? Click this link to buy my stuff. If you're going to use it that way, you're not going to get the results that you could get with interesting storytelling using LinkedIn stories. What makes someone click a link on social media? Aside from the image or the video that you've got there, I think the second most important thing, actually probably in some cases the first most important thing, is the headline. And this isn't new. Headlines have been around since newspapers started. I remember visiting London, and there'd be the person selling the Evening Standard shouting out what the headline was going to be. There'd be a big poster, what the main headline is. And that's what would make you buy the newspaper. And that's what makes you click a link. Twitter obviously know this. You may remember last week we talked about how Twitter are trying to get more people to click into trends. And they were introducing things like a representative tweet, which would give people an idea of what the trend was about before they clicked, and a description maybe that would tell people what the trend was about before they clicked. And this week they're talking about adding a headline that will tell people what the trend is about before they clicked. But why would they do this, you may ask? Well, I suppose the thing is, one, you're going to be more reluctant to click into a trend unless you've got an idea of what that trend's going to be about. Every click online seems like a bit of a waste of time unless it's leading to something of value for you. So instead of having to do that click through to a trend and leave the trend immediately, you'll know what it is. Secondly, if you are clicking, you're probably interested in finding out the trend, which means you're going to spend more time on Twitter. More time on Twitter means they can serve you more ads, but it also makes a better user experience for everyone. It means your tweets are also going to get in front of more people. It means that the users are going to spend more time consuming content there. And I think that could be good for all Twitter users. If video is the future of social media, as Mark Zuckerberg once said, I think TikTok have it totally nailed. They have a completely new way of us communicating online using video. And I have to say, you may have noticed I have warmed to TikTok. I don't use it that much. I look at it a lot. I've warmed to TikTok over time. And I think it is such an innovative network that completely reshapes the way we use online content, much the way that Stories does. And this week they've launched a new tool called Stitch, which will allow you to remix someone else's content. You'll be able to take the beginning of their TikTok video and add your own bit at the end, which is really hard to describe what it does. So let's have a quick look at their video about it. So first up, no idea why I was appearing in the corner of that on a different camera. So first up, the first thing is you won't be able to just stitch any video. You will have the choice when you upload a video if you want people to stitch it. So how could you use this? Well, you could use it in that interesting way there, get people to come up with their own ends. You could, in that apple situation, suggest to people that they catch the apple in an unusual place. And then you've got people distributing your content further because everything links back to you in the end. It's great for brand awareness. It's great to get your content seen. But you could also use it in a more basic way. You could use it like we use questions and polls on Instagram. Ask a question and get people to record their answer at the end. And of course, you can reshare like that video once they've done it. It's a great way to get people to engage with your content. You could also use it, get people to use it a bit like we use quote tweets. So instead of just sharing your video with other people, adding their own commentary to it at the end. Have a look at some of the examples. I will place a link below that TikTok have. It's really fascinating. And I do think this is a new way of communicating. It is a new way of creating content. I know a lot of people are uncomfortable with video, and I know that's never going to end. There are people who won't create video ever. And I think text in social networks is still incredibly important. But I do like the way that this is making us rethink the way we create our content.